Hi everyone, Internet PC's book reader here. Today I want to talk about Acceptance by Jeff Vandermeer. This is the last book of the Southern Reach series. The first book is so good that I gave it a full score, while the second book is so bad that I took a break from the series and read non-fiction first. I don't know how this third book went, but I'm hoping this being published after that second one meant something. But before we go into this third book, let's go over some of the events and the characters from the previous book a little bit. In Annihilation, the psychologist, who is the director of the Southern Reach, the organization that specializes in Area X, is dead, and our main character, the biologist, decided to not leave Area X. Then in the sequel, Authority, a guy we know as Control became the new director of Southern Reach, replacing the psychologist, and in the process, he became closer to Ghostbird, a copy of the biologist from the first book. At the end of that book, Area X swallows Southern Reach, and places that is connected to Area X also started popping up in other places in the world. Control and Ghostbird jump into one of these new holes that reach Area X. And in this third book, we started by going back to the first book from the original psychologist's point of view from back when she encountered the biologist in the lighthouse in the first book. We see a little bit of the burdens he had to bear as the director of Southern Reach, and we see the shadowy fire that she sees the biologist as. Then we witness her final moment as the psychologist as Area X claimed her. Then we go way back on the timeline to the life of the lighthouse keeper, Saul Evans. This was before the Area turns into Area X, a prequel of sorts. He used to be a preacher who find life meaningless, but in the 4 years after retiring from being a preacher, he took a job as the lighthouse keeper, and here he lived a much more meaningful life that looks inward. He even started a new relationship with someone named Charlie. The only thing that ruined his mood is there are recruits from a group called Science and Science Brigades that's been coming to the lighthouse to do some mysterious experiment. A very contradictory group name that usually comes in pair. The one that lately come has been the same, Henry and Suzanne. Suzanne is a science part of the duo, with Henry being the superstitious or the science one. While he really don't like this duo, he had to tolerate their existence since they got the permit to experiment there. This time they wanted to do something with mirror and darkness to test the terror or terror there. Besides those two weirdos, he also had another frequent visit from a girl named Gloria, a Native American who liked to go on an adventure on the coast where Saul is working, a child with intellectual curiosity who asked questions to whoever wanted to hear them, and Saul, who like the child, often answered her many questions. In the near future, Gloria will become the director of Southern Reach, the person we know as the psychologist. One day they were talking on the coast, and then Saul saw something glitter on the ground. He was trying to pick it up to see what it was when the light pricked him and entered his hand. Whatever it was now inside of him. Then as usual, the story moved back and forth between the past and the present, and we moved to Control and Ghostbird, who have survived the fall into Area X and are now walking aimlessly inside it. Control is a foreign entity to Area X, a person who once was even trying to maybe erase it. Meanwhile, Ghostbird is a copy made by Area X, and in a way, she's coming back home to the place that made her. And in this state that is almost the opposite of who they were when they were in Southern Reach as the director and his prisoner. They're heading to the island across the sea where the biologist was heading to when we last saw her in Annihilation. And their journey in Area X kinda mimics or maybe even a follow-up to the journey that the biologist and the psychologist have when they first arrive at Area X. Which is fitting because we then go back again to the psychologist when she was still a director in Southern Reach. She was desperate to find answer in an organization that is slowly being abandoned by Central, so they can focus on hiding more environmental damage that they cause instead of an unsolvable puzzle that is Area X. So she decided to secretly go into Area X with Whitby, the person that went crazy in Southern Reach during Control's time there. But this is before the 12th expedition, so Whitby are very much sane. They came in Area X and saw the tower, but Whitby refused to go down, so the psychologist went in alone. She saw its pulsating wall and went down the stair where she saw the lighthouse keeper Saul sitting there. Still stuck in the past, seeing her ex Gloria, back when they were friends who were united in their suspicion and hostility toward the Science and Science Brigade's cult duo. Back in the present Area X, Control and Ghostbird kept going on the most awkward journey where Control wanted to be more with Ghostbird and Ghostbird realizing and ignoring it. But they need to stop and hide because they found a simmering presence, a new horror that we never saw in the series. Then going back again to the past, the psychologist went back up after hearing Whitby's cry from the top. The same simmering that appeared in front of Control and Ghostbird appeared in front of him. The simmering that will eventually drive Whitby crazy. With nothing else to gain from staying in Area X, both of them went out before it became too dangerous. There is a very drawn out scene of the psychologist getting into trouble with Central, or more precisely Laurie, the one who owns Southern Reach, because he knows about the psychologist's past as Gloria. But the important part is that her and Whitby brought back a plan and a damaged cell phone from Area X. Meanwhile, back when she was younger, Saul has been getting sicker and more unwell ever since his hand was pricked by the light. He started seeing blank spots which makes him grow more anxious and easier to irritate. So Gloria sent him to meet her mother, who is a doctor in the Forgotten Coast they live in. But the doctor saw nothing wrong with him, just the normal getting older and should be eating less salt routine. His condition got worse until he started dreaming, started hearing the poem that was written in the wall of the tower. Cuthbert and Control continued their trek in Area 8, arriving at the coast, and they saw signs of battle there with rifles and tanks that melts into the grass like it's been there in a while but fresh at the same time. There was also a boat left behind there, so they both decided to ride the boat and row it to go to the island where the biologists went. After rowing a while, they saw the lighthouse that was on that island, and they decided to steer their boat there so they could rest for the night. But before they could warm the sail up, they got ambushed by Grace, the assistant director of Southern Ridge. She stayed in Southern Ridge when Area X swallowed it and decided to follow Gloria's last instruction for her to go to this lighthouse where she's been staying so far despite some injuries and nothing to do, something that she's done for 3 years. In comparison, Control and Cuthbert's journey in Area X so far has only been 5 days. The 2 weeks time that Control took to find Cuthbert before they jump into Area X is 3 years for Grace, and as evidence she showed them the biologist's last will and testament. And here we've arrived at the second and best part of the book, following the biologist's journey on the island across the lighthouse to where her husband has gone. It's the only focused storytelling where we follow a single character without any cut. The brightness that Area X has given her started to become much stranger, changing from day to day, from making her wake up covered in an icy flake to one day feeling like her heart is on fire burning. The next day, she heard again the moaning beast that usually she avoided, but this time she decided to find the source. She expected some kind of an animal, but instead she found an unmoving, screaming, past member of an expedition whose eyes are blind, making her fear her brightness even more. She also met an owl and they formed some sort of friendship, with the owl often giving her food that he found. Eventually on her journey on the island, she found traces of the science and science brigade that she only knows as SNSP. The group has done some sort of experiment trying to link this lighthouse on their island with the lighthouse on the mainland. She tried to find more information about the SNSP group, but other than that first time, she didn't find anything else. For 30 years, she stayed there until even the owl that has become her friend died from old age and nature. By the time that Cuthbert arrived there, the biologist has turned into a new form, something alien and translucent, a new animal that is free to travel between the land and the sea and between worlds. She turned into something that is no longer human, but far more intricate and beautiful. And when the biologists arrived at the lighthouse, she and Cuthbert shared something between them. In between the origin of their memory and their difference with each other, they saw one another. Then unfortunately, the story started splitting again into 3 parts. The lighthouse keeper before Area X was formed, the psychologist while Southern Ridge is still outside of Area X, and Cuthbert and Control who is in Area X after it was swallowed by Southern Ridge. Saul's story eventually ends in Area X swallowing the Forgotten Coast with him as the center of it. The psychologist's story eventually ends with her interview with the biologist and her deciding that she'll join their expedition. Control and Cuthbert eventually go down the tower with Grace. Here, Cuthbert confirmed that she was made by Area X, seeing how she got accepted by the tower. Grace, who saw that, turned paranoid and shot her to no effect. The bullet hit her but did not harm Cuthbert, like she's a ghost. But while they were distracting each other, Control, who have lost his mind from seeing the bizarre nature of Area X, went further down the tower and eventually jumped into the light that the biologist saw in the first book, in a way ending his own life. With most of the characters we've known died, Cuthbert and Grace decided to go to Southern Ridge that is now in Area X so they can find a way back to Earth. And that's the end of the Southern Ridge trilogy. It's a series with many ups and downs, with the first book being the best and the second book being the worst. This third book itself had its own ups and downs, and a lot of it I just don't agree with. Making Area X feels like it's an alien planet is such a weird move. Most of the psychologist's story also doesn't matter. You can just not tell any of it and it doesn't really change anything in the story. If anything, the book might be better if it did not tell the psychologist's story that was mostly lore dumping that is literally stuck between the Lighthouse Keeper story and the Cuthbert story. Saul's story at least gave that flavor of tragedy that the Southern Ridge series really need, the helplessness of a normal person who is just trying to have a normal life, something that we see replicated in Control in the future. While Cuthbert, as a copy of the biologist, in a way becomes some sort of a doctor between Area X and the biologist. The next generation that see the changes that Area X caused not solely as a negative thing. They, and eventually maybe even Grace, Learn to accept the inevitability of change. The series had its flaws, but overall I think this third book is still quite worth it if you're looking for this kind of sci-fi. It's just that to get to this third book, you'll have to face the second book, where most of the characters are not well fleshed out. Grace, the assistant director of Southern Reach herself, barely becomes a character with her own motivation and way of life and thinking, despite being in the second and third book. That's how bad the characters in the second book was. Overall, I give this series a 3. I also give this book a 3. What do you think? Let me know if I miss anything, so leave your thoughts in the comment below and subscribe to the channel. That's about it. See ya.